Things a black man must have when dating black women or to date black women. One thing a black man must have when dating or to get black women is looks. Black women, out of all other races of women, they go by looks. Looks is number one on their list. A dude could have bad credit, no job, no car, no ambition, no drive, no. A dude could be a fucking bum, you know. But as long as he looks a certain way with black women, he got him. A black woman would take him. So looks, or he can have other women. If you got like other women wanting you and shit, a black woman will go for you too if other women want you. It's kind of stupid. And the thing is, they bitch about why men don't marry them. And one of the number one terms I've always heard black women say, and some of them in my own family say this: say, don't no woman want a man who other women don't want. And a close family member told me this one time, and I told her, just because certain women don't want a certain man doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with that man. And when I told her that, it actually she didn't understand. She kind of blew her mind in a way. She didn't really think about it in that way. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. She didn't even think about it in that way. But that's another one. Having other women want you. It's just like how a black woman could give a fuck, could not give two fucks about a certain black guy, but as soon as that black guy is with a white woman or a non-black woman, all of a sudden he becomes important to her. You know what I'm saying? That's how black. Like I had a debate with a YouTuber named Rashid for you one time on her channel about the actor Derek Luke who played in the Antoine Fisher story, and she was talking about how black women were sad or whatnot because he was a non-black woman. And I responded to her. I said, if Derek Luke was a regular black guy, that nigga would be invisible to most black women because it's true. Black women, a dude like that, he doesn't have swag. He doesn't have the tattoos and the dreadlocks and the. He doesn't act all street and shit and talk all that street shit. And he's a dark skinned black guy with African features, and he seems like a good guy. All that is a recipe for black women not wanting him at all. But they want him now because he's successful. And they argue me down, but I know how black women think. A dark skinned black guy who doesn't act in a stereotypical way, who isn't rolling in money, and doesn't have all the swaggerific shit that niggas like and ain't all shiny and shit and act like a normal guy, black women don't want no parts of that guy. Now they'll fuck with a white guy who's plain and average and normal acting, but not a black guy who's, you know what I'm saying, who's the equivalent of that. But on to the next one. Another one is a guy. This is another thing about black guys too. Like black guy got to have this car, a certain type of car and shit. Got to have a nice car and shit. You know what I'm saying? Black women are like that. where they don't even want to. If you got a regular call or an unassuming call or a raggedy call, whatever, they don't want to be seen with your head. But they'll be seen in an old raggedy, rusty ass pickup truck with some white guy though. See, there are double standards in this shit with black guys. My man Obsidian, I forgot Obsidian Radio, the voice of the everyday brother. I listen to a lot of his podcasts. He make a lot of points. He brought up the thing, the issue of what he calls price discrimination. How women will let another man allow another man to do certain things for free, and with another guy they'll have to pay or whatnot. It's not exactly in those terms, but that's the gist of it. Like if a black woman is dating a black guy, he has to have A, B, and C. You got to look this way, you got to drive this car, you got to wear these shoes, you got to act like this, you got to let them do what the fuck they want to do. He can't set rules for her and all that type shit. But for a non-black guy, black bitches be walking 3 and 4 steps behind them and cooking and cleaning for him. The white man, the non-black guy, tell him the black bitch to stay at home. That motherfucker will do that too. And these are the women who these niggas go to bat for, cause these niggas are not being honest with themselves. Most niggas ain't being honest with themselves when it comes to black women, or they just don't, or they're just ignorant, or they are either raised by their mothers and tend to think like women and see the world through a female's point of view. I've seen this shit. Like a black guy got to have this car, that he got to wear these shoes, he got to look like this, he got to look like that. But a white guy, all he has to do is bring his white skin, and he's good. That's what brothers got to understand, man. And stop being such a fucking simp for these women. Because most black women don't have your best interest in mind as a black guy. That's why I see all these black dudes running through fucking hoops, man, for black women. These guys wear these fucking $80 shirts and $200 shoes and putting these big rims on their car, buying new trucks and shit, and then spending another goddamn $2,000-3,000 putting these big wheels on them and shit, and all to impress some low life skank, man. When you don't have to do all that shit. But since you're a black guy, you got to play this role and shit, man. And that's another thing. A lot of Negroes play these roles for black women. Well, other dudes can just be themselves, you know. Other races of men just be real men. But niggas got to be cartoon characters and shit. That's why you rarely ever see a black woman with like a real man. Black women be with goddamn fucking clowns. Because only clowns accept this type of behavior in women. They accept everything that black women is putting on the table for them. Multiple kids by different men, a loud mouth, or arrogant attitude, does what she wants to do. Another thing about black women that these niggas don't talk about is how they cheat a lot. I know black women who are married, man, they cheat a lot. And niggas pretend like niggas is just so far behind when it comes to these women. I was like that. I was like that at one time. But when you really look at women and black women and observe them, you will see that all the fuck shit that they do. That's why I advise black men, decent black men, don't get married, don't do long term relationships, don't invest a whole lot of money in women, invest in yourself and build yourself up. And this is another thing, this is a sad truth too. When you you finally do build yourself up as a black guy, I'm talking about mentally, intellectually, financially, etc. What you're gonna find is that most black women don't measure up to you. You'll find yourself rejecting black women left and right when you have standards. Something most black dudes nowadays don't have.